Hey guys, Duyo here. So we just had another Atlas brew, and I wanted to share a couple of things with you. One thing in particular is going to have a huge impact on the economy, on ships in general, and maybe on your play style. But first, what is going on here? This I just blew up. This is like it's pre-alpha gameplay, by the way. But it is cool that we get to get in here and test out ships. So I'm just flying through this track while I'm talking. So anyways, Atlas Brew, some game changers out there with this one. A lot of it was just elaborating on information we already knew, but a lot of it was new and pretty cool stuff. So I'm going to dive into that. Before I do, if you want to learn more about Star Atlas and how to earn as much Atlas in-game, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I like talking about the economy, resources, crafting, how to get the most bang for your buck in Star Atlas. That's what this channel talks about. So go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to check out my Star Atlas Maximum Profits Guide, a link will be in the description below, and you can use the discount code ATLAS to receive 50% off. So if that sounds pretty cool to you, check it out in the link below. All right, so with this Atlas brew, we did get an elaboration on some things, including a lot more information on SDUs. Now, a lot of the stuff we already knew. A lot of this we kind of speculated and it came out to be true. Just to recap, you can scan for SDUs come Sage Labs, which will be coming out sometime in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. They did postpone it a little bit to update the UI and just make it look a whole lot better. They showed some examples of what it looks like before and after, and it does look a lot better. So it's worth it. We've already waited like 2 years for this. We can wait another week or two longer than what we thought. So it's still coming very soon. SDUs, right. So you can scan for SDUs. There are a couple limitations. Right now, if you scan for SDU, there's only a 25% chance of receiving one. And they said based on the amount of people who does this and amount of people who have SDUs, they might raise this, lower it. They can change that 25%, but right now it's 25%. Now, if anybody within your sector has scanned for an SDU within the last 2 minutes, then you can't receive one, like 0% chance of receiving one. Also, worldwide, or galaxy-wide, I guess you should say, if there has been 1,500 SDUs obtained within the past minute, you will have a 0% chance. Of course, you can just literally wait a minute and then it can go up again. I don't think they're going to let you know when these conditions have or have not been met. They didn't actually say like if it's going to let you know that you can't scan. I think you'll just scan and nothing will show up, and you might just wait another minute or two and hope one does show up. A couple other things to note, and I already mentioned this in my previous video. I've mentioned this in my guide. SDUs are dependent on your fleet size. So extra small is one position, and it goes up from there. So extra small would be 2 positions, so on and so forth. Now, you can only get 10 SDUs per fleet size. So if you have 10 extra smalls, you can get 10 SDUs. But if you have 11, you'll still only receive 10 SDUs. Hope that makes sense. If you have 500 ships, you can still only receive 10 SDUs at a time. Now, there's no limit to number of fleets you can have. So if you have 500 ships, you can break that up into 50 different fleets. It'd be a lot to maintain at one time, but you know, that's workaround for this. So anyways, if you have larger, medium, small ships, you know, you need less ships to get to that 10 SDU threshold. One thing to note about that is that this is a good way for if you have smaller ships, you can still do stuff. You'll have less crew members for crafting. You'll have less cargo space for gathering, but you can still gather and scan for SDUs. And so that might be something you want to do. I talked a lot about this in my last video, so I'm not going to go too much more into SDUs. So moving forward, They also mentioned some other things, a lot of UI stuff. They have a map of the 51 different sectors, and then within those are 51 different star systems. And within those star systems is going to be different sectors, and these are going to be the real life map of the galaxy come launch day. So you'll be able to see like what's up, what does your neighborhood look like. A big important thing, and one thing I really like, the whole reason why I'm making this video. We got a lot of information, nothing too game changing, except for with the redemption tickets. So in Sage Labs, and I talk about this in previous videos, and again, I talk about this in great depth in my guide. So I'm not going to go too much into golden tickets, but come Sage Labs, you can craft components, you can craft golden tickets, it's a raffle system, or you can craft redemption tickets, which are guaranteed prizes, but it's at a higher cost than a golden ticket might be, you know. So you can get a bunch of golden tickets, kind of play the lottery, hope to get lucky, or you can spend more and get guaranteed prizes, which that's the route I was already planning to go, but even more so with this update, because this update is huge. So they have said in Sage Labs, with this redemption tickets, there are ships that this is literally the only way you will ever be able to obtain these ships. They're not going to sell this any other time or place on the marketplace. They're not going to have this as reward elsewhere. There are ships that can only be ever obtained by using these redemption tickets. Now, okay, so if you ever played like World of Warcraft, there's people out there who spend a lot of gold on transmog items. Like things that just like character skins, you know? And why? Because they're collectors. In fact, people spend a lot of money on stamps, bugs, whatever, like Cabbage Patch dolls, because they're collectors. So, not only will these ships have utility as a ship, you know, and be kind of cool, but collectors will spend a lot of money on these. And I could say a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, there's going to be almost none of these ships anywhere obtainable. And a collector is going to want these ships. They're going to be worth a lot now. They're going to be expensive now. And they're going to be very expensive in the future. So I highly suggest everybody get golden tickets so that I can get more redemption tickets for these ships that can only be obtainable here. No, I highly suggest getting these ships because that's the only possible way you can get these ships. Now, there will be a limited number. So if you're not on it, if you're focusing on different things other than trying to get the redemption tickets for these ships, you will probably miss out because they use this for example. It could be more, it could be less, but they said like, for example, maybe the first 100 people get the ship and then they take it out of the loot pool and there's no way to ever obtain the ship ever again other than buying it from somebody at an overpriced price on the secondary market, you know, because that's always going to be an option. In fact, that's the reason why I want these ships. As cool as it would be to have like a large fighter ship, selling it at way more than it's worth because it's such a rare ship is really what I'm after here. So I think that's something we can all agree that is worth going after. So that's what I wanted to share with you. These rare once in a lifetime opportunities to get these ships yourself in game because they're not going to show up anywhere else. They did share that one of them is going to be a large fighter. Now, they didn't share too much more information because, you know, they want to leave some mystery and they want you to figure it out as we go. But these are going to be worth getting. Trust me, they are going to be worth getting. And if you want to maximize your Star Atlas profits, which is the whole name of my guide and what I try to do here on my YouTube channel, it's something that you're going to want to get. So that was pretty cool information. And of course, they shared that at like an hour and 40 minutes into an hour and 46-minute long live stream. So it was at the very end But it was almost worth watching. I mean, you get a lot of information watching the live streams, so that's worth it. But it was definitely worth watching that whole time just for that golden nugget at the very end. So I needed to share that with you, and go for it. Now, if you want to know more news, more tips, more updates, more ways to maximize your Star Atlas profits, then remember to subscribe to my channel and check out the guide. The link is in the description below. You can use the discount code ATLAS to receive 50% off. Sorry, I thought I was going to get stuck there. It looks like my bike got stuck there. Remember, pre-alpha version of this. They're going to add more to it later. Um, but yeah, it is kind of cool. You get to fly around. There's a lot bigger ships than this one you can fly around in. But that racetrack's pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.